Hi, Region Weather family. It's meteorologist Matt Wintz here on this Sunday. And my goodness, are we competing against everything else on TV right now? It's going to be such a cute little crowd with us. And I really do appreciate you guys taking time out of this. I'm going to make this as quick as possible for you. I don't care about who's playing in the Super Bowl. Commercials, yeah, we'll get that as well. We kind of watch for that. I know a lot of people do. But anyway, our team doesn't make the Super Bowl here in Ohio. So there's that. But anyway, I'm going to make this quick for you guys. I know you've got stuff going on. I'm not in a hurry, but I know you guys probably are. So we'll get through the weather here over the next 15 days. Let me get through our sponsors real quick. We'll say hi to our early birds, and then we'll get to the forecast. We've got really an active pattern here across the country over the next week or so. And then next week, it's really interesting with a lot of ups and downs in the forecast. But overall, we're going to start to moderate things. And I think we're all happy about that. We're coming out of one of the coldest winters we've had in recent memory around here. And I'm not saying we're done, but at least we're going to start to toy around with some warmer air. So we'll get into that here in the forecast. First and foremost, we've got two new sponsors. I know you're familiar with all of our local sponsors here in Northwest Indiana. I want to introduce you to two new ones. We've got Service Master by Tecton. They will help you get back to normal with their disaster restoration services. If you encounter any issues from floods, fires, everything in between, Service Master by Tecton is there for you. They take care of commercial and residential needs. You can reach them at 219-476-2222 or their website, smrtrestore.com, or you can find them on socials. If you don't know what to do next in an emergency, they do. Also, we have Krause Construction. They're founded in 1927. Krause Construction provides durable windows, siding, and doors to help Northwest Indiana homeowners weather every single season. They also do things like fences, attic insulation, pretty much anything around your home. They're a wonderful family-owned business, krasman.com or 219-248-3911. Kate Cusack, our home loan girl, knows spring's just around the corner. Now is the time to prepare, whether that means getting a pre-approval ahead of time for your new home or looking into refinancing your current one as the rates continue to come down. You can find her here on Facebook at Kate Cusack Home Loan Girl. Don't wait for those warmer days. Reach out to her today. You want to make sure you get ahead of the home buying season for that. Halcyon Water Solutions provides the highest quality water treatment with exceptional service all across Northwest Indiana. From water softening and filtration to salt delivery and maintenance, they've got all your water needs covered. Call 866-97-WATER to schedule your free in-home water analysis today. EarlsHeating.com, the place to go if you need anything done with your furnace. You guys know them. They take care of your indoor environment. We forecast the outdoor environment. They've been serving the Cherville area since 1976. Go to EarlsHeating.com if you have any heating problems here with this cold. RomansRoofing.net is your place to go if you need a new roof. The wind has taken a toll on our roofs here in Northwest Indiana. If you have any leaks or maybe you're looking for a new roof replacement to get your spring started right, Romans will certainly do that for you. They provide retail and storm restoration options as well. All inspections or estimates are completely free with Romans. 219-838-9111 or romansroofing.net. TNT Tree Service, if you need anything done with your trees, taken down, maybe you've got a weird one or something cleaned up, they can certainly do that. They are so professional, and they service the most dangerous trees that have fallen with modern equipment. They do an amazing job. 219-300-6256 or tttreeservice.com. Minogue.life. Michael Minogue's been serving Northwest Indiana in the world of life insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid for decades. He knows his stuff. And he says with Valentine's Day around the corner, you want to make sure that, we're obviously starting to think about the people we love again. If you have people that depend on you, you want to review and ask if you have the appropriate amount of life insurance. You may be paying too much for life insurance. Maybe you don't need as much as you get older, or maybe you don't have enough if you're a little bit younger. He would be happy to have a no-cost consultation with you to sit down and go over your amounts. Make sure you have exactly what you need to protect those that you love as we get into the Love Week coming up this week. PublicServiceAdjusting.com if you need any insurance claims, or if you have an insurance claim, you need an adjuster to come out. They'll do everything between you and your insurance company. They take care of it. They'll get you top dollar. PublicServiceAdjusting.com. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. You know them very well. Great vehicles there. They've got four-wheel drive. Brand new Wagoneer looks great this year as well. And they've been serving Northwest Indiana for a long time. They do a lot of work in the community. They're awesome over at Grieger's. FBIBuildings.com. They've done over 20,000 pole barns in the Midwest over the last couple of years. They do amazing work, residential, commercial. If you need one renovated, they'll do that. If you need a new one built, they'll do that as well. FBIBuildings.com if you need that. And finally, last but not least, tigerplumbing.net, our favorite plumbers here in Northwest Indiana. They do an amazing job. If you have any water problems in the house, if they're, let's say, hopefully no one had any water main breaks or anything like that with frozen pipes that we've had. But if you do have any problems or you need a new faucet installed or anything like that, tigerplumbing.net, the place to go. They come out for free, which is awesome. We just had someone out we have a boiler. We have an old house. It's a historic home. And so nothing works. It's great, but we preserve it. But anyway, we had someone out for the boiler. They charged $200 just to come out, which is insane to me. But anyway, Tiger Plumbing does not. That's what I love them, especially this day and age. Everyone's charging so much. All right. Thank you for letting me get through our sponsors. Let's get the show on the road before the Super Bowl, right? We're starting in a couple of minutes here, so we'll get this going on. What do you guys prefer? Super Bowl, Puppy Bowl? Do you like the Olympics better now? Thank you for choosing region weather here on this Sunday. We'll get it. Let's see. JP says Sunday means it's region weather time. Thanks, JP. We'll get you in our next commercial for sure. Teresa's not interested in Super Bowl. Tom says we watched the Puppy Bowl. It was adorable. I didn't see it this year. We've got it recorded. John is a 49ers fan. Go Patriots. He doesn't want the Seahawks to win. Good evening to Jeff. Who was first? Vicky was first. Hi, Vicky. Thanks for joining us tonight. Lisa as well. Deb's here. John Alexander, good afternoon to you. Jeff's with us. No surprise snow, says JD. Dragica's with us as well. And Maxwell brings up a good point. He says it would be a lot warmer if the snow wasn't here. This snowpack that we have in place right now all over the Midwest, really, it's starting to melt in Illinois and Kentucky. It's really Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and then up towards the Northeast. You can even see it here on the map. Some of that white kind of shining down from the infrared satellite. But if we didn't have this, yes, we would be warmer. This helps. It kind of serves like ice cubes in an igloo cooler, and it'll keep your temperatures down until you melt it off. So, let's say model guidance says, 45 for a high tomorrow, which it doesn't, but let's say it does. A lot of times the model guidance doesn't factor in that snowpack. And so our average or our actual high would be like 38. Whereas if we didn't have the snow, we'd be 45, maybe 48 or so. So it does keep us cooler. Good point. All right, big picture pattern across country right now. You're probably noticing a change. Things are coming at us more from the west, all right? That's our zonal flow we've been talking about that's taking over. And boy, do we need that. We have not had that in 2.5 weeks around here. We had a very brief stint with the zonal flow before that, and then it was like another 2.5, 3 weeks that we had a flow out of the northwest. We're shutting off the Arctic, all right? Baby steps here as we go throughout the month of February. We'll take it. Now, to start our work and school week tomorrow, going to be a brutal day for those that are in the Super Bowl. Always tough going back to work. We don't have any weather issues to start our week. That's the great news, all right? It's really a wind story from here. So nice and dry tomorrow. We'll have sunshine, some high clouds. Wind will start to turn out of the southwest. It's out of the southeast here this evening. And you can see how that wind over the course of the day tomorrow and Tuesday continues to strengthen. It'll be a little breezy tomorrow afternoon. Ditto that on Tuesday morning. But then it switches on Tuesday as a clipper system slides to our north. This one will not clip us, all right? The last one did. This one will not. And notice how this heads off towards the north, and then we have a wind shift. This keeps our temperatures from getting too warm, all right? It kind of brings us back down to reality with some cooler air, and we're going to stay on the chillier side of things this week, all right? But the big picture pattern, this is the pattern we've been in with this huge dip in the eastern half of the country. That finally goes away. We have this giant ridge coming in from the west, and that'll settle over the plains. This is going to be a very frustrating forecast here locally, and the reason why is because we are going to have such warm air. It's going to be so spring-like on the map just south of us, and that happens a lot as we get into March and April. But overall, there's going to be a lot of warm air and 70s galore down towards our south. We're not going to get our share in that, but we're going to be close, and we may hit upper 50s to 60 next week. I'll show you that here in a second. But overall, this ridge has a lot of warmth underneath it, but we're not quite underneath it. We're still kind of in between, and we've got this cold air still playing with us from the north. So that ridge will be there. You can see how it kind of holds. No, we don't get Arctic cold, but we don't really get the real hot stuff until right here, out ahead of another system that may be diving into the west. Models continue to indicate by not tomorrow, Monday, but the week after that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in there we get a nice warm up, and that would come with this little poke in the ridge right there. It wouldn't last too long, but we may have another shot after that. And notice how we are starting to bring in some warmer colors in here in terms of our heights. That's going to help our temperatures start to respond as well as we would expect them to. All right, let's talk precip. We do have a system on the way later this week, but the models really don't agree with what's happening with it. It's right here. See this? we'll have a high pressure in place. So we're going to have dry air in place as well. Again, we're dry through Wednesday. That high pressure, as this warm nose tries to get in here, will really keep the moisture at bay as it looks right now. But yesterday it was showing a system getting in here. So we're going to keep in the forecast maybe a chance of rain or snow Thursday into Friday. See how that thing just kind of comes in and fades? There's nothing on us right now. The GFS really doesn't have it on us either, but we'll keep our eye on it. That may be our next little shot at some precip is Thursday, Friday around here. And then as we go into the weekend, a bigger storm system down to the south looks to miss us right now, something we need to keep an eye on because that would bring accumulating snow with it if that holds. That would be next weekend. Notice how it misses us to the south. But remember, storm systems, if this holds, can correct north and west. That's often where we see them correct. So we're going to keep a close eye on this weekend, this next coming weekend. And then here's your warm bump in temps right here. The 17th and 18th, that's out ahead of another system that brings a quick shot of cold air. Then we're back to the warmth again. So in terms of clouds, just want to show you that we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine this week. Anything in blue is clear skies. The white are the clouds on here. And notice we've got nice sunshine tomorrow with just some passing high clouds. These are going to be high wispy clouds. They'll thicken up a little bit towards sunset. And then Tuesday we'll have sunshine with some high clouds as well. But at least we're seeing the sun, right? Wednesday looks good as well until some clouds settle in from the north. And then we bring in cloudier skies for that system Thursday into Friday, as I mentioned. And then after that, who knows? And then in terms of temperatures, I want to show you this because this is crazy. All right, this is Monday afternoon. Look at the warmth in the plains. 60s and 70s. Those areas in yellow, orange, and getting into the dark orange, those are 80s. It's so close. St. Louis, you're so close as well. They'll be around 50 tomorrow, but it'll be 60 to south of them. And then that warm air slides south. Okay, so that misses us. But watch how it builds again right here on into the upcoming weekend and next week. There you go. Oh, man, does that look nice? That's next Monday. It has us in the 50s, the Euro does, but widespread 60s and 70s. And then here's the good one right there. The Euro brings us up into the 60s temporarily on Tuesday the 17th. We'll see if it holds. Here's why these temperatures fluctuate so much in the modeling, because look at the difference. You go 50 miles north of here, they're in the 40s and 30s. Meanwhile, 50 miles south, near 70. So big temperature disparities this time of year, and it all depends on where the front ends up. All right, if that front ends up further south, we're stuck in the cold. If it ends up further north, obviously, we're in the warmth. But it's really hard to get warm fronts through here this time of year. It really is. But anyway, there's optimism there in the forecast. That would be brief. We get colder, but nothing crazy. Warmth would build again. Euro has more warmth after that, and then the warmth would build again after that. So overall, in terms of temperatures, this is what we're looking at on the latest Euro right now, the 12Z. Cold week, right, but not as bad as it's been. So 20s and 30s, our warmest day, Monday, Tuesday. And then we're just kind of chilly the rest of the week, but nothing too crazy. Overnight lows aren't too bad either. Below freezing, yes, in the teens some nights, but not, below zero. We'll take it. And then notice the up and down pattern next week. That's where we get a series of fronts that'll come through with warm and then cold and then warm and then cold. So this is where it gets interesting temperature-wise. This week, kind of boring temperature-wise, but at least we're not with the Arctic cold. Okay, we'll take that. So that's what we've got in terms of the forecast here. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, you can get to watching TV, do your thing, enjoy your Sunday evening. I am so aware of how precious time is in terms of eyeballs on a Super Bowl, Puppy Bowl, Olympic Sunday. All right, we're up against everything else. So again, I want this information to be helpful. Get it, get on, get out, right? That way you can get on with your plans. But I do appreciate you guys. X-Rock 103.9, Indiana 105.5, and Z107.1. We'll have updates all this week on this upcoming system. Perhaps this weekend needs watched. Again, we'll have eyes on that. But really, I'm excited about temperatures in these longer days. That's kind of what I'm looking at as a meteorologist is when do we warm up? When do we get out of this? That's really my main focus right now, outside of any big storm systems that are coming our way. Maxwell points out a nice sunset right now. I cannot see it outside Maxwell, but I'm sure it is. Yeah, we've got some high clouds working in as well. So take a look at that sunset. Isn't it nice, Maxwell, to have that later sunset now? It's getting later. It feels good. So that's it. Jerry says goodbye, winter. He's ready to get rid of the winter gear and go back to hoodies. I like that. All right. I think that's it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you joining me here on this Sunday. We got in a little early. I know, Mark. Mark says I was early. I was conscious of the Super Bowl starting at 6. I wanted to get done around then for you guys. So there's that. All right. Have a wonderful week this week. Okay. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me this evening. All right.